Hello, my friends. We're back. Episode 3, Life Notifications. Excited to talk with y'all today. Um, got a concept, got some things that I'm just looking forward to talking about. A couple early learnings, we'll say, from my first 2 episodes. Always looking to kind of like see how they went, iterate, do whatever, try and make this continuously better. Let's talk about episode 2, 30 minutes. Might have been a stretch. Not only a stretch, like if you see a 30-minute video, that's probably a lot to commit to. Probably a little hard on me too. I remember I had I showed you all the outline. I was going to the library. I want to have a plan. I want it to feel authentic. I will try to avoid a 30-minute video. I think the sweet spot will kind of be 12 to 18 minutes. But I'm also committed to just doing a one take, just ripping. All right. I want to go, sports radio host on you here and just go for 15, 20 minutes. So we'll see. I've got my clock here, but once again, I want it to feel genuine. I want it to feel like there's somewhat of a plan, and I want to focus more on the content than the timing, but I also want to be cognizant that 30 minutes was a lot. And 3 topics. I don't think that's realistic either. I think that was just a lot for my brain. And it kind of made me feel like I had to check each box as opposed to going deeper in. So I'd love to try and go maybe 1 inch wide, a mile deep on one topic, max 2. And I'm thinking my format will be my one topic of the week and then an offline moment of the week. Because I love doing stuff, right? And I think last week I talked about my to-do lists. I want to go and do stuff off of those to-do lists. And there's weird shit on there, all right? I got the contact info of a dog medium this week. That's going to be an offline moment of the week 1 week. I'm going to do it so I can figure out my dog Pablo. We're going to talk to the medium about Pablo, what he's seeing. He's a great dog. And I'm going to just see what happens. You'll see my boy here. Hang on, I'm not really sure where to do my thumb because I'm on the camera. Right here, over my shoulder here, that picture of the dog. That is Snoop. That was my OG dog, a Pugalier, which I didn't even know existed, a Pug Cavalier King mix. Coolest dog ever, probably my soul dog. He passed October 2023, October 17th. That weekend, Tennessee played Alabama in Knoxville and beat Alabama. I was at the game. I do sincerely think that there was I think Snoop was up there barking and helped Tennessee win the game. That's where I went to school. That's my squad. That was a great weekend. Felt a lot of good emotions there. So, all right, that's an offline moment of the week coming up. So that's going to be the goal, right? Like without things crowding my brain space, without having this to-do list that I keep adding to, I'm actually going to start checking them off. All right, so we're going to talk about this week's main concept, and then I'm going to talk about my offline moment of the week now that we kicked in some learnings from episode 1 and 2. What is the concept this week? All right, I'm gonna be dumb. I'm gonna be so dumb. I'm gonna be dumb as hell. That's actually the concept. I want to feel as dumb as possible again. And now, what does that have to do with having a flip phone? Here's the thing. When I have a smartphone, when I had it, if I even had a thought, I was almost immediately trying to figure it out. If there was something I didn't know, I was almost immediately trying to figure it out. And that has evolved over time. Reddit, Google, Twitter, ChatGPT. I was immediately just trying to answer it. So like over the last year, I've probably learned more faster, but I don't feel smarter. And I don't know if that's because I'm just learning something at a surface level, right? I learn level 1 and I'm happy with it. I don't ask, maybe I wasn't asking good enough follow-up questions or really diving in. I was just so eager to learn it so fast. And then it's cool. It was like a little hit of dopamine or whatever brain chemistry hit, serotonin, dopamine, I don't know. There's a great example of feeling dumb again and being cool with it. But I would learn it and then move on. Learn it, move on, learn it, move on. And even if I want to like keep this stuff up for like a fun fact in a conversation, you know, 5-10 years down the road, I don't know if I have that anymore. I'm going to move the thing down a little bit. I like this t-shirt. You can see it. At the Moment is the name of the brand. They have some really cool stuff from a sports perspective, food perspective, animal perspective, lots of cool clothes. But I was just learning stuff so fast. How much of that stuff did I actually take to make my life better? Not a ton. How much of that stuff was I actively really pursuing? Like how much was I really optimizing? Was I curious about it just for that 30 seconds? Or was I truly curious about it? Right? And not only that, in the moment, like let's say if something happened in a moment and I didn't get it, I would be we'll say scared, that's fine, nervous, scared. I was scared to ask questions. I was worried I was going to feel shame because I didn't understand something. Whenever someone asks you, does that make sense? That's the worst question in the world, by the way. Salespeople or teachers, I would challenge you to never ask that question again. Does that make sense? Anytime someone asks me that, I'm going to try and say no the rest of my life. Pisses me off. But when people would explain stuff to me, does that make sense? I'd just be like, yeah. Or I would just kind of like nod and accept it. There's obvious questions I didn't know. And I want to ask those without shame. I want to make them explain it again. And that's still a specific dynamic. But just in general, if I'm curious about something, like where else can I look to find it? Can I look to different source material? I want to avoid ChatGPT. And if I am curious about it, or I'm feeling dumb and I want to learn about it, do I try and learn immediately? Do I outsource it immediately? Or do I let it sit? Sit and bubble for a little bit. Sit, add a little seasoning, add a little stink to it to see if, as it adds that stink, as it sits around in my brain, festering, continuing, is it something I want to keep pursuing, or is it a little fun 30-second thing? Because I think that's a big piece of what this is about. I think when I just think about moving forward, when I think about times I've had success in life, career, it's not about, for me, I know there's some things it's not about knowing just a little bit about a whole lot of things. I want to try and double, triple, quadruple down on certain things that I really care about. And so, sure, it's fun if we're at happy hour and, we want to talk what's some random stuff, that I was studying last year. Maybe, astrology, trying to do some stuff for the astrology homies, the crystals, my birthday, compatibility with another birthday, or, I don't even know what facts and this is a great example. Like, I use ChatGPT. I can go down the list and look at that thing on the left of all the things that I was curious to learn about real quick. And did any of it even stick with me? Did any of it even stick with me? So I need to double, triple, quadruple down on certain levers. I think that comes to do with health. I think that will, focus on certain things in my career. I'll do that with things that I'm really interested in. Tennis, fitness, probably tough to tell, but, maybe fashion. Dude, drop at the moment, rocking the tennis t-shirt, music, different things that I want to figure out. If I go deep on them, it really feels like something that I'm super interested in learning about compared to the quick one. All right. And that's where, when I think about this year, if I'm dumb as hell, if I am if I'm the dumbest I've ever been this year, if I am dumb as hell this year, I sincerely believe that it will actually be my most successful year. Not only from how I feel, but also potentially in different accomplishments, or different things that I'm able to move forward on. So I know I've got some friends out there that are watching. Thank you for watching, by the way. Thanks everyone for watching. But I know I've got some friends that I interact with a lot that are saying, you are dumb as hell. So if this is your, if that's your goal, dude, keep doing what you're doing. And they're right. There's the goofball genes, the dumb as hell genes are alive in this one. But hopefully you understand what I mean. I am not going to feel any shame about asking follow-up questions, or like if someone is saying something that should be obvious, or if I want to learn about something, I'm not just going to run to ChatGPT. I'm gonna figure out how to be dumb about it and learn proper, and not just learn level 1 in 30 seconds to feel good. All right. Offline moment of the week. I decided to dip into a list of movies that I have always wanted to watch and pick one and really watch the hell out of it. Like straight up Don Draper meme. And I know I did Marty Supreme last week, so maybe we're seeing a theme. Don't worry, I'll mix this up. But I dove all in on a movie, and I seriously, I watched it. I did the Don Draper meme. Where is this? The movie this week, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon. Fantastic movie. Here's why I chose it. So I've got some notes. Again, I'm not doing the full. I'm not going to show you the sheet because I got handwritten notes. So some reasons I chose it. I've just heard it was amazing. First off, love that culture. I don't even know what to call it. Like, it's a mix of fantasy. There's of course like kung fu, fighting. The culture. It's just like respectful. It's consistent. It's clean. It's athletic. It was just such a cool movie to see and to choose. I also love stuff from The Ringer, right? Bill Simmons is my boy. I know he's getting a lot of stuff talked about on Twitter. And Sean Fennessy, their like movie guy, has said that Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon is a masterpiece. So he also loves Moneyball, which is another one of my all-time favorite movies. So it was just a movie that I've always wanted to see. He called it out, and so I dove into it. So for this one, I'm looking over at notes, but it was super important to watch by myself, isolated. It's kind of a slow. It's watching it without a second screen or watching it with no phone. I took notes again, straight up college lecture style. But no second screen mattered. First off, there were subtitles. It's not in English. So watching it, reading it, not being able to miss a piece there was super important. I was shocked at the depth of character. People, the way I could still see them grow, the way I could feel their emotions. Great actors. I could feel emotions of love, of loss, of regret, of feeling betrayed. All of those play really powerful parts in the movie. Just a fantastic story all around, too. It starts about, a sword gets stolen. All of a sudden, we see all different pieces of this universe, this world that gets built, and watching it completely in depth was really cool. I highly recommend the movie. I reached out to a couple people and recommended the movie. I think writing my notes was super helpful. I do that a lot anyways, for work, for different things. I like to put pen to paper. My handwriting sucks, but I'm going to put pen to paper a lot. And the movie just really surprised me. I thought it was going to be good, better than I could have imagined. And it felt slow. It was like, it's hard to explain. It felt slow, but it also felt really, really powerful. In a weird way, it almost kind of reminded me of Mad Men. You know, one day I just woke up watching Mad Men and I was like, it's a slow burn, but I'm obsessed with this. And they're just having conversations, but each conversation felt really powerful, felt really impactful. I would say the same for this movie. It felt really strong, that conversations were not wasted, words were not wasted, emotions were not wasted, and the director and the actors did a great job of delivering on that. So 2 hours, not too long, great length. Pacing was fantastic. Visually, it was cool. They were athletic, great fight scenes. But once again, they build a universe. They finished the story. And it was just really emotional. It was really, really emotional. I don't think I'm spoiling anything here, but there was one moment where a dude gets stabbed. I had a visceral, oh my God, did one of those numbers. And then some fantastic love stories, including possibly one of the sickest, I'm spitting game. I think one of the greatest lines of romance ever is in The Alchemist. If you've ever read that book, where he talks about, all the things that had to happen for them to come together. Insanely romantic. I'll make sure I get that quote for next week, because absolute lover boy, and want to make sure y'all know I just can't think of it. I'm not good at thinking of multiple pop culture or things sometimes at the same time. Crazy when people are a song is playing and you're trying to think of another song. Borderline impossible. But here is an absolute beast of a line. Romance, super romance, hell yeah, romance, lover boy. I've already wasted my whole life. I want to tell you with my last breath that I have always loved you. I would rather be a ghost drifting by your side as a condemned soul than enter heaven without you. Because of you, because of your love, I will never be a lonely spirit. That's a bar. And that's my message to my 88 views, my 200 views. I'm not doing it for the views. I promise you I'm not going to get numbers jealous or anything like that, because I was committed to this. I'm speaking to myself. I'm doing 100 videos. I don't know what they'll turn into, but I've got a concept. I'm going to have a concept for each week. We're going to have an offline moment. We're going to keep having fun with it. Please leave comments if you have any feedback. If you think I have a nice voice, if you think I'm handsome, or if you just want to chat. And those of y'all that watch and are enjoying it, thank you. Those, if you're watching and not enjoying it, still thank you. We're going to do this to get better, put ourselves out there, and have some fun. So have a great week. Try to cut down on your screen time. Don't be afraid to be dumb. And if you get a moment, watch Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and lock in when you watch it. All right, go be dumb. I'll see y'all sooner rather than later. Bye now.